What is probability? We introduced already the Laplace's demon thought experiment, and I took the license to divide the Laplace's demon into the reality demon, the probability demon, and the causality demon. This lecture is about the probability demon, and Simon Laplace could be probably associated more with the reality demon, but it's actually very appropriate to associate him with the probability demon as well, because he was a champion of probability theory, especially the Bayesian probability theory. So when we talk about probability, we are considering models about populations, samples and experiments done only with values. Those values would be numbers or labels. So these are not populations of people or populations of animals. They're not samples of people, and the experiments are not done with people like we do in psychology. These are experiments done with values. We take some values from, randomly take values from somewhere, and we obtain a sample of values. The way we take it is randomly, so that is what we call experiment in the probability realm. There are two conceptions of probability, or two main conceptions of probability. One is the frequentist, which is probability would be the long-run expected frequency of occurrence of an event. And the metaphor, the perfect metaphor for probability in this sense is the coin. Tossing a coin is an experiment that we can run millions, trillions of times, and that we can create a long run of experiments. And in the case of heads, the probability of heads would be the long run expected frequency of obtaining a head. Well, if we run millions of times, of millions of coin tosses, it is very likely that we will obtain very close to 50% of coin tosses to be head and 50% tails. Another perfect example of this version of probability is the dice. So if you roll a die, you can do it several times. You can create a long run, and the expected long run frequency of obtaining 1 is 1/6. The expected frequency of obtaining an even number is 1/2 or 50%. So that's what is probability in the frequentist version. Now the Bayesian version, probability is a degree of credence or degree of belief of the occurrence of an event. And typically these two views are viewed as the objectivist view, which is the frequentist, and the subjectivist view, which is the Bayesian. But I prefer to believe that the Bayesian is a more flexible way of considering probability, because in the Bayesian view, you obtain probability is the degree of belief of the occurrence of an event, and it could be an event that you can obtain after a long run frequency of experiments. So the examples of the coin or the roulette or the dice, these are examples for the Bayesian that are perfectly okay. We can have a belief of that on the occurrence of an event for these cases, same as frequentist. But the Bayesian also allows for assigning probabilities to almost everything. So that's why we have here the probability daemon is a drone, and we want to know what's the probability that the drone will land in a specific part of a city. That's an event, a single event. It's not that something that happens in a long run. So it's just one event, and we can establish a degree of credence on that event based on the population of each part of the city. So Bayesian probability is a degree of credence or degree of belief on something happening